There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
YouTube, new leaked cards. You can look at duellinksmeta.com. Additional new cards have been added to the game as well, grouped by release order. That means Sonic Chick and Convert Contact are going to be grouped together on release. Avenging Knight Parshath and Doomcaliber are going to be grouped together. The Fabled are going to be grouped together. Silent Swordsman is going to be grouped together with Silent Hero, Soldier, Solid, whatever. Trust Guardian. These will be grouped together, I think. And also, a little extra tidbit from the Datamine leaks is Silent Duelist, they're apparently going to change the skill to work with Silent Swordsman. We'll talk about that in a second. So first, we're going to talk about Sonic Chick. Sonic Chick, it's the same as Obnoxious Celtic Guard, but worse until we get Scramble Eggs with it. So what does that mean? I'll show you right here on this screen. So Scrambled Eggs. Scrambled Egg. If a monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you could special summon a Sonic Chick from your hand, deck, or graveyard, but this is not in the leaks. Nothing about getting it. What does Sonic Chick do itself? Cannot be destroyed by battle with a monster has 1900 or more attack. So, Obnoxious. We already have this, and we can already get 3 of it. So, no thank you. Moving on, let's talk about Convert Contact. Convert Contact, if you control no monsters, you could send a Neospatian from your hand and from your deck to the graveyard to draw 2 cards, not once per turn. So you could activate it, draw 2, activate it, draw 2, activate it, draw 2, draw 6 in a single turn, fill up that grave. And why are you doing this? You are doing it with Miracle Contact. With Miracle Contact, you could fuse using your graveyard, and with Miracle Contact, you'll be summoning something like Elemental Hero Storm. So if I could look up the Storm Fusion real quick, Elemental Hero Storm Neos, it requires an Elemental Hero Neos, which your Convert Contact could help you draw into. It will also be using Hummingbird and Dolphin, which your Convert Contact will, if you have at least a Dolphin and or a Hummingbird, you discard it to send the other that you're missing from your deck to the graveyard. Then you pretty much have everything to make your Storm Neos, which says you could destroy all spell and traps in the field, and during the end phase, you shuffle them into the extra deck to return all cards in the field, including your opponents, back into their deck. So that's a pretty cool combo. What's the cards you're using them with? Little Dolphin Boy and Hummingbird. That's just a thought, and I think you guys will see some gameplay of this in action. All right, draw 2. Discard. Send. Draw 2. Miracle Contact, boy. Miracle Contact. I don't think this is good to use now because our guy then gets shuffled in end phase, but I'll just show you like what we could summon. We summon Elemental Hero Storm Neos, and we're going to use the graveyard. You what, mate? God damn. And then we could activate his effect to destroy all spell and traps in the field. And then the end phase, he goes back to the extra deck, and then it returns all cards in the field back to their deck. So let's see the other hand here. So if we went second, that would have been really cool. Let's see this. We're going to draw 2. We're going to discard this and send that to the graveyard to draw 2. I can't believe we're just not doing it over and over. God damn it. All right. Miracle Contact. Once again, consistently, we're going to shuffle the graveyard and the Neos in our hand to Synchro, Fusion, Ritual Summon our Storm Neos onto the field. Once again, destroy all spell and traps in the field. We're going to activate, destroy all spell and traps in the field. And then in the end phase, shuffle all cards in the field, including the opponents, back into the deck. Let's move on to Trust Guardian, level 3 tuner. This card cannot be used as a Synchro material monster, except for the Synchro summon of a level 7 or higher Synchro. Once per turn, that Synchro monster cannot be destroyed by battle. But if you do not destroy it by battle, it must lose 400 attack and defense at the end of the damage step. So you're going to make Stardust Dragon with this. So a level 5 and a level 3, and Trust Guardian being level 3. You're going to make Stardust. Stardust can now negate effects that destroy and will protect itself from being destroyed by battle. But if you do that, it then loses 400 attack and defense. Also, if they play Canadia, which everyone does, Canadia will completely erase that effect to begin with. They'll flip your Stardust face down. It no longer has the effect to be protected from battle, and then they just swing over your Stardust. So unfortunately, not so good. Doomcaliber Knight. Great card. Love it. 1900 attack, 1800 defense. It's a fat defense. You can set it if you want. If you don't want to trigger its effect is mandatory. During either player's turn, if a monster effect is activated, you must tribute this face-up card to negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that monster. So quick little fun fact, in the TCG, people would cheat. They would cheat. And I know there's some people in TCG, they got their nose all up high. They think that, nope, only losers get cheated. There's no way I could get cheated. I don't think so, boy. So this is how I would cheat you, and you would never know. Your opponent could activate the effect of Bogart Knight without even having an X-Saber in their hand, and then your Doomcaliber Knight would negate it. So not possible in Duel Links to falsely trigger your opponent's Doomcaliber Knight. Just saying. So have fun, TCG kids, with that. Doomcaliber Knight, so good, you would probably be using it in a control deck. So if we look at the tier list real quick, control is tier 1. It might be contending for the spot with DD Assailant, but there's a big problem with your Doomcaliber Knight. Because it's forced to negate an effect, by the way, if your opponent summons a Breaker or a Junk Synchron, your Doomcaliber will negate it, but it will also negate your own. So if you summon Doomcaliber before you summon your Breaker or your Junk Synchron, you're pretty much just sitting on your Doomcaliber hoping for them to trigger it. Moving on though, what makes Doomcaliber really not good from the tier list is Samurai Skull. They summon Samurai Skull, they activate its effect, it triggers your Doomcaliber destroys and negates Samurai Skull, but then Samurai Skull separately will activate in the graveyard to then summon a Gazuki onto the field or a Vampire. It's not good, not a good trade. So this alone, Samurai Skull is enough to potentially turn people off from even playing Doomcaliber Knight. Damn. Elemental Hero Soldier. When this card is normal summon, you could special summon a level 4 or lower hero monster from your hand. If this card is sent from the monster zone to the graveyard by a spell effect, aka polymerization, you could then add a hero monster from the graveyard to your hand except himself. So what you could do here is you normal summon Soldier, special summon Blazeman, Blazeman search for polymerization, fusion summon, and then you get to add Blazeman back to your hand. You could also do this with Vian if you want to play like Trinity. You could special summon Vian, dump a hero, banish a hero, search for Poly, then add Vian back to your hand once your Soldier goes to the graveyard through your polymerization for your Trinity Crush. And this might be coming with Silent Swordsman, kind of weirdly. Avenging Knight Parshath. One tuner, one or more non-tuner. It has to be light non-tuners. Once per turn, you can target a face-up monster your opponent controls, change it to defense, and it does piercing damage. This card is really, really good, but it has no good place for it. Just future potential. This is a great finisher. It finish off your opponent. If they have a Samurai Skull and attack, you could put Samurai Skull to defense and then do a fat pierce for 2600 for lethal. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Unfortunately, like I said, we have no good place for this card, though. Just keep an eye out for it if you have a light deck that could Synchro Shokan. Next up on the leaks, before we get to the big one being Silent Swordsman, is Fabled. Fabled. You guys may recognize this from the DD Tower event, but let me let you know that the DD Tower event is using cards that we will not be receiving, such as Ragin. Ragin, the DD Tower event's using it. We would love to have it. This is a core card in the TCG. Also, another core card of Fabled is Cerebro. We really need this card. You discard it, you special summon it. It's a tuner. It's a very easy way to Synchro Shokan. So what are Fableds? Fableds are a Synchro deck with a bunch of discard effects, with the boss monster being Valkyris. We have Grimro, which is an ultra rare, where I'm assuming this will be in a mini box, with Raven being a super rare. So Grimro is the searcher card. It makes the deck super consistent. If you control a face-up Fabled monster, you could discard this from your hand to search for any Fabled monster. Very good. You have here the discard enablers. You have Raven, super rare. Once per turn, you could discard any number of cards from your hand, and then it gains 1 level and 400 attack for each card discard until the end of this turn. This does work with the Dark World cards, so if you want to discard Dark Worlds to gain their effects, feel free to do so. Let's move on to Nazuchi. Nazuchi is another discard enabler. During the main phase, while in your hand, you could discard another Fabled monster and then special summon it onto the field. Then when it's special summoned, you could special summon a level 2 or lower Fabled from your hand. So it's like a 3-card combo. Discard, special, then special another card from your hand. Another discard enabler is Kushano. Kushano, while it's in the graveyard, you could discard a Fabled monster to add it from your grave to your hand. It is a tuner. So that could be interesting. If you normal summon Kushano, then you use Grimro to discard and search for a Nezuchi, and then you use Nezuchi to special summon itself onto the field, and then you use Nezuchi and your Kushuno to Synchro Shokan for an Armades, and we're not done. Then we could use Kushono in the graveyard to discard a card we already have, Ganashia, to then add him back to the hand, and then Ganashia summons onto the field. So that's kind of the combos that this deck could do, what you can expect. We have 4 different discard effects. Fabled Cross. When this card is discarded to the graveyard, you could select a level 4 or lower Fabled monster in your graveyard, accept this card, and special summon it. So what you want to do here is you want Grimro to search for Cross. So you need a Fabled on the field. So let's have Raven on the field, discard Grimro, add Cross. Then we're going to use Raven to discard Cross and another monster. Then we're going to have Cross is effect activate and special summon Grimro into the field. Are you with me? Follow, pay attention. Grimro is level 4. Now Raven is level 4 because we discarded 2 cards. By the way, the second card we discarded just for funsies was a Ganashia. So our field is Ganashia, level 4 Raven, and level 4 Grimro. Then we're going to Synchro Shokan these 2 cards for a Fabled Valkyris. Fabled Valkyris, 1 Fabled tuner, 1 or more non-tuner monsters. Once per turn, you could discard a Fiend type monster to draw a card. That means you cannot discard a Ganashia. You can discard a Cross for its effect. So that's unfortunate that it does not say discard a Fabled monster. It must be Fiend type, but then you get to draw a card and it's 2900 attack. Also, another Synchro Shokan we have is a level 4 Synchro. I believe this is the first level 4 Synchro we have in Duel Links. If you have 0 cards in your hand, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, and it's 2200 attack. You must use a Fabled Tuner to summon it. If you have 3 or more cards in your hand, it dies in the end phase. So make sure you keep your hand count low, optimally at 0, so it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. It just stays in the field forever. This could be really annoying and can be easily summoned, you know, with your level 2 Nezuchi and your Raven. 2 + 2 = 4. Also, another tuner we could use is Ms. Toji. Ms. Toji on the field has no effect, but it is a level 2 tuner. Its effect is, though, you could discard him to turn a Fabled onto the field into a tuner. It's really an unoptimal way to make a Synchro Shokan. It's costly, but it sadly might be needed. You could play a bunch of one-ofs to, you know, search some Grimro to make it happen. A good card with this deck is Snipe Hunter. Snipe Hunter, you discard your Cross or your Ganashia, triggers their effects, destroy cards on the field. It also works with your Providence, your Tribute to the Doomed, your Tricky, Get Tricky. All right, what other cards are we talking about here? Pegasus, I don't like this card. It's level 1 tuner. When it's discarded, special summon it face down. I don't like that. No, thank you. It also has an effect when it's flipped face up. You can reveal Fabled to send a Fabled from your deck to the graveyard. No bueno. That's pretty much for the new Fabled cards, and then you have all the old Fabled cards, which is really not worth talking about. And my notes about Fabled, you're going to see some gameplay with it. Boom, gameplay. All right, so we have Fabled Raven. Fabled Raven is our tuner. Very good. We're going to use Grimro. Grimro is going to activate to target the Raven, and then we're going to search our deck for any Fabled monster we want. So if we want to think about this, we have a level 2 tuner. We have a level 2 non-tuner where if it's discarded, it could special summon the Grimro back on the field. So another problem with Fabled is having a limited monster slots. As you can see with the deck, you could easily fill the field with monsters, but you have to carefully plan out how you want to do it. So I know I want to summon Grimro, and I think we want to make Raven level 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add Ganashia. So we're going to add Ganashia. Very good. We're going to activate the effect of Raven to discard 2 cards from our hand. 1, 2, finish. We're going to select the chain sequence. It doesn't matter. Can't do that in Duel Links, by the way. We're going to special summon Grimro into the field. This is what, you know, turn 1 what this deck could do. Just showing you. Now we have Ganashia on the field, and now we could Synchro Shokan for a level 8. We're going to summon Valkyrius. Once per turn, you could discard a Fiend type monster to draw a card. Now, that, unfortunately, this is a cost to discard. It's not an effect. So if you want to mix this up with your Dark Worlds, it's not even going to work. And, okay, so let's discard. Draw, and we drew another Raven. Okay, let's see what our opponent could do. 2900, turn 1, we got to draw a card. Let's go. What do we have here which you can't see? You can't see this. We have no discarding effects. I have a Snipe Hunter. During your main phase, you could discard. Let's do this. Let's do a Synchro Shokan. Synchro Shokan. Let's Synchro Shokan for level 4 into level 6, I guess. Let's Fabled, Nezuchi, discard, special, and then now we can make a level 4, or I could use Raven to just discard my entire hand, and now we can make a level 6. So this is a Synchro deck. It's a Synchro deck. And pretty much the only good Synchro is Valkyrius, and there really isn't a super easy way to build it. All right, so if they have nothing on the field for us to discard with a Snipe Hunter, we'll just set. We'll set. We'll end. I guess this almost makes it like a turn 2 deck. Now we have kind of a complicated hand here. Kind of complicated. I think we'll go for a non-optimal play. We'll just discard the Crust, special summon. We're going to activate its effect to special summon. Yes, special summon. Now we have a tuner on the field. We have a level 2 and a level 2. Because the play's not over. Because you might think, whoa, that's really underwhelming. But wait, there's more. We have Grimro in our hand. Grimro, we are going to add... Whatever. Let's just normal summon. Let's normal summon. And then, actually, that was a good add, right? We're going to make Synchro Shokan Valkyrius. Woo! All right, now we're gonna activate his effect to, once returned, you could discard a card. Okay, why does it say waiting? Why can't I activate its effect? Once per turn, you could discard 1 fiend type monster. It's not even a fiend. Unbelievable. Oh my God. Oh my God. You would think it just discard a Fabled, but no. Actually, no. So we don't get to discard and draw. Cool. All right, let's end our turn. Good play, good play. We went all out for that one. It's basically a Synchro deck without good Synchros. It's hurt by the 3 monster zones. As you know, this card by itself can easily spam the field, and Ganashia and Crust trying to summon monsters on the field. You only have 3 spots, though. We really needed the Serb tuner, and we needed Fable Ragin. I needed that Ragin hard on. We draw 2 cards every time we summon this. We unfortunately don't have it, and we need an easier way to get a tuner on the field through discarding, and this would have been it, but we don't have either. Grimro's a great searcher. Crust, Ganashia, great discard effects. Nezuchi's good to search for with your Grimro. And Ms. Toji is a costly but maybe needed card in order to Synchro. A lot of potential. But honestly, I don't think there's really anything here. Maybe I could create a deck that's good enough to reach King of Games, but will this be top in tournaments? I probably don't think so. Fabled.